Carl Sagan, Pale Blue Dot, a vision of the human future in space. Pale Blue Dot. Perhaps you think it's time to reassess the conjecture that there's intelligent life on us. Looking for life elsewhere. Calibration. Spacecraft from the Earth have now flown by dozens of planets, moons, comets, and asteroids equipped with camera, instrument for measuring heat and radio waves, spectrometer to determine composition, and host of other devices. You have found not a hint of life anywhere else in the solar system, but you might be skeptical about our ability to detect life elsewhere, especially life different from the kind we know. Until recently, we have never performed the obvious calibration test to fly a modern interplanetary spacecraft by the Earth and see whether we could detect ourselves. This all changed on December 8, 1990. Galileo is a NASA spacecraft designed to explore the giant planet Jupiter, its moons, and its rings. It's named after the hero Italian scientist who played so central a role in toppling the geocentric pretension. It's he who first saw Jupiter as a world and who discovered its 4 big moons. To get to Jupiter, the spacecraft had to fly close by Venus once and the Earth twice and be accelerated by the gravities of these planets. Otherwise, there wasn't enough room to get it where it was going. This necessity of trajectory design permits us for the first time to look systematically at the Earth from an alien perspective. Galileo passed only 960 kilometers, about 600 miles, above the Earth's surface, with some exception, including pictures showing features finer than 1 kilometer across, and an image of Earth at night. Much of the spacecraft data described in this chapter were actually obtained by Galileo. With Galileo, we were able to deduce an ocean atmosphere, water, clouds, ocean, follow ice, life, and intelligence. The use of instrument and protocol developed to explore the planet to monitor the environment health to our own. Something NASA is now doing in earnest was described by the astronaut Sally Ride as mission to planet Earth. Other members of the NASA science team who worked with me on Galileo detection of life on Earth were W. Reid Thompson, Cornell University, doctors, Robert Carlson, JPL, Ronald Grunet, University of Iowa, and Charles Hall, University of Colorado. Our success in detecting life on Earth with Galileo without making any assumption beforehand about what kind of life it must be increased our confidence that when we failed to find life on the other planet, the negative result is meaningful. Is this judgment anthropocentric, geocentric, provincial? I don't think so. We are not looking only for our kind of biology. Any widespread photosynthetic pigment, any gas pass grossly out of equilibrium with the rest of the atmosphere, any rendering of the surface into highly geometrized patterns, any steady consolidation of light on the night hemisphere, any non-astrophysical source of radio emission would betoken the presence of life. On Earth, we have found, of course, only our type, but many other types would have been detectable elsewhere. We have not found them. This examination of the third planet strengthens our tentative conclusion that of all the world in the solar system, only ours is graced by life. We have just begun to search. Maybe life is hiding on Mars or Jupiter, Europa or Titan. Maybe the galaxy is filled with works as rich in life as ours. Maybe we are on the verge of making such discoveries, but in terms of actual knowledge, at this moment, the Earth is unique. No other world is yet known to harbor even a microbe, much less a technical civilization. Chapter 6. The Triumph of Voyager. They that go down to sea in ships, that do business in great waters. There did see the works of the Lord, and his wonders in the deep. Plaza 107, CA 150 BC. The vision we offer our children set for future. It matters what those visions are. Often they become self-fulfilling prophecies, dream maps. I do not think it's irresponsible to portray even the dearest futures. If we are to avoid them, we must understand that they are possible. But where are the alternatives? Where are the dreams that motivate and inspire? We long for realistic maps of a world we can be proud to give to our children. Where are the cartographers of human purpose? Where are the vision of hopeful futures, of technology as a tool for human betterment and not a gun on hair trigger pointed at our head? NASA, in its ordinary course of doing business, offers such a vision, but in the 1980s and early 90s, many people saw the US space program as instead a succession of catastrophes. 7 brave Americans killed on a mission whose main function was to put up a communication satellite that could have been launched at less cost without risking anybody. $1 billion telescope setup is a bad cause of myopia. A spacecraft to Jupiter, whose main antenna, essential for returning data to us, did not unfurl. A probe lost just as it was about to orbit Mars. Some people cringe even every time NASA describes exploration sending a few astronauts 200 miles up in a small capsule that endlessly circles the Earth and goes nowhere. Compared to the brilliant achievement of robotic missions, it's striking how rarely fundamental scientific findings emerge from many missions, except for repairing ineptly manufactured of malfunctioning satellite, or launching a satellite that could just as well have been sent up in an unmanned booster. The manned program has, since the 1970s, seemed unable to generate accomplishment commensurate with the cost. Others look at NASA as a stalking horse for grandiose scheme to put weapons into space, despite the fact that an orbiting effort is in many circumstances a sitting duck. And NASA showed many symptoms of aging: atherosclerotic, overcautious, unadventurous Bruno crush. The trend is perhaps beginning to be reversed. But these criticisms, many of them surely valid, should not blind us to NASA triumph. In the same period, the first exploration of the Uranus and Neptune system, the in-orbit repair of the Hubble Space Telescope. The proof that the existence of a galaxy is compatible with the Big Bang. The first close observation of asteroid, mapping Venus pole to pole. Monitoring ozone depletion. Demonstrate the existence of a black hole with a mass of a billion suns at the center of the nearby galaxy, and the history commitment to joint space endeavors by the US and Russia.